government has introduced new measures aimed at supporting Zimbabwe's new currency, the ZIG. In a statement, the Minister of Finance, Professor Mthuli Ncube, said government will soon be introducing measures that ensure no exchange rate other than the official rate will be used for pricing of goods and services. The minister announced that all government agencies and the private sector will accept the ZIG and the basket of foreign currencies for transactions with no insistence on a specific currency or indexing invoices to the United States dollar. We are now joined by ZTN business correspondent Eben Mabunda for further insights. Good evening, Eben. Thank you for joining us. Help us make head or tail of this announcement.
Well, good evening, Faith. A very strong policy indication there coming from Treasury. One of the key highlights is the fact that Treasury is saying that all government agencies as well as private sector must employ the official exchange rate in all transactions, and also just how it will be critical for the ZIG as well as the rest of the basket of currencies to be employed in all transactions with no specific insistence on the use of a specific currency, making of course the highlights. Now it's not clear at this point. This is a precursor to the implementation of what may be statutory instruments that will govern or dictate just how this policy indication will be implemented, but it's got what may be indications of price control measures that are being implemented by the central government. However, it's important to note that when the new central bank governor took office, in his maiden monetary policy statement, he gave indications that we will see the employment of market determined rates in a bid to eliminate price distortions and arbitrage activities in the economy. So it remains to be seen how far these measures will go, whether they will be in tandem with what the central bank governor said, or it will be a completely different story. So we await the implementation of the instruments that indicate just how government will navigate this particular subject.
Now, even talking about how far things may go, how far do you think this will go in helping strengthen the ZIG?
Well, the linchpin of this new currency is the universal acceptance of the new currency in transactions by both the private sector as well as the government. So at the end of the day, the ZIG must be able to allow transactions and payment for fuel, payment for rentals, payment for duties, even at the borders. But again, there's a statement in that presser that says unless there is a specific legislation. So it remains to be seen just how central government will navigate this particular subject. But by and large, the central government through its agencies must be able to take in all currencies for transactions without a particular preference for a specific currency, be it a foreign currency or a domestic currency. That will give market leadership and guidance to the rest of the economy. So I think it's has got a stronger bearing on the government itself, specifically where the payment of duties and other transactions that of course will be critical to the economy in giving guidance to the rest of the economy.
Now, before I let you go, Eben, what does this mean for business?
Look, Faith, a very tricky situation. You've got an exchange rate that is sailing at about 1:14 on, of course, the formal market, vis-a-vis a parallel market that's hitting as high as 1:20, 1:21, 22, 23. So it presents a catch-22 situation for formal businesses, especially. Why? Because some of their costs are denominated in United States dollars, and now they have to play at a formal market rate, and they have got to accept all different currencies. The downside to that is that it's easy to implement this policy in formal businesses. However, it's difficult for government to implement this with the tuck shops, the informal businesses. The regulation there remains very, very tricky. So if due diligence is not taken, this could result in the shortage of certain commodities in your normal retail, with their existence in the informal businesses and the tuck shops downtown, owing to the disparities that exist between how business is conducted between the formal businesses vis-a-vis the informal business that we've got in Zimbabwe.
Konapo, ipapo pa ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.